So I just got back home from picking up my daughter from school. I'm about to go for my walk, but before I go, I do want to mention a couple of things. Even though you see me smiling a lot more often now, I'm a lot happier now. I don't feel as depressed anymore. Sometimes I do wake up with little thoughts that pops in my head. Those negative thoughts or whatever, but I just let them happen. I just sit there, lay there, or whatever, and I don't pay attention to them because those are meaningless thoughts. Those are thoughts that, oh, you went to this place, you went to that place, but how come it took you so long to go to this place? But sure, it took me like over a year to go somewhere, but I think about it. Okay, it took me a year, but I finally did it because before my negative thought would be like, oh, you're never gonna drive again. It took me over a year to finally start driving again. It did took me over a year to actually go inside any stores. You know, it took me a couple months to leave my house. All those stuff that I thought I was never gonna be able to do because it was my own negative thoughts. And then when I finally did them, little baby steps at a time. Even before, like I mentioned before, I even struggled taking a shower because I would get so dizzy. There was days I would only want to take a shower if someone was home. If I was home alone and I had to go take a shower, I would be so scared to get so dizzy in the shower. What if so I will only shower if someone was home, and that was, I know it sounds so strange for me to say because I used to enjoy taking a shower. I would feel so relaxed when I used to take a shower, but as soon as I started having panic attacks at home taking a shower, I would be so scared to be being home by myself. So I was actually scared of being home by myself. Now if I'm home by myself, I'm okay with it, So there's so many things that I thought I was never going to be able to do again that I'm able to do now, So whatever your negative thought is telling you, write them down if you have to. Get them off of your head. Get them off your mind. If it's to get the mail, go out and get the mail. Practice. Even though there's no mail, go outside. You don't have to actually go out and get the mail right away. Open the door. If you couldn't open the door, stay there for a few minutes, grab a chair if you have to. Next day, do it again. Let your mind know that, hey, I opened the door, nothing happened. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Then one day you'll be able to take that couple of steps out the door. Next thing you know it, you'll be able to go out and get the mail. I mean, if your mailbox is attached to your house, and you have to go out and get it, just take your little baby steps out the door, because that's what I did. When I thought I was never going to leave the house, I took baby steps, because like I mentioned before, I had a hard time even going to my living room, my family room, any rooms that's not my room. I had a hard time. So I started staying inside the living room, looking out the window, and then one day I start opening the door, stay by the door, and then I moved closer to walking out the door. Then one day I finally made it outside my driveway, sat there, and then one day I decided to walk to my neighbor's house. My neighbor asked me if I can borrow something. I said sure, and then I just brought it over there. And then I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh my god, I actually went to grab something and hand it to my neighbor. It's things like that. It's like when you're not thinking about it, your mind completely forgets about it. But once you're thinking about it, like, oh my god, I'm outside. Oh my god, like, I'm outside doing this, I'm out doing that. Then that's when you start getting scared because you're so surprised that you actually did it, But when my neighbor asked me, can I borrow something? I was like, oh, let me go grab it. My mind wasn't set on being outside. My mind was like, oh, let me go and get it. Then when I went inside, I was like, my body just felt, I was so tense up like this, like, like I can feel my neck. I can't even feel the bone in my, on my spine. I can feel it. Like I can feel that tension. Like I was like this. When I went inside, I was so tense up because I was so surprised that I actually stayed outside for like 5 minutes talking to my neighbor, you know. But with that 5 minutes talking to my neighbor, I was completely fine. I was outside. I didn't even think about it. And then I started walking around the neighborhood, to the corner, coming back, and then I was like, okay, I got used to going to the corner. Then I made it to the corner. Then one day, my mom asked me, can I go pick up my niece? She didn't even say, are you brave enough to go pick up your niece? She said, can you go pick up your niece? I said, okay. And then that's when I realized, I was like, okay. I just said okay without thinking, like, could I do it? I just said okay, like, I know I can do it. But yeah, I'm still getting over the flu. I had it for a couple of days now, but today I'm just going to go for a quick walk around the block and head back home. And that's pretty much it. It's going to start raining for the next couple of days, but I will still go for my walks and whatnot. But at the same time, I don't want to overdo it, because I know if I overdo it, and then I'm just going to overwork my mind, and that's really bad for recovery, because I don't want to. I overdid it one time in August 2016 when I told my girlfriend. Actually, I didn't tell her, but I asked her to take me for a drive wherever, and then instantly threw me into a panic attack. And then when I came home that day, I was completely panicking for a couple hours, and I didn't want to leave my house for like another week or two. And then so that's what happened when I overdid it. So now I'm just taking little steps. You'll see me going to the store, smiling, stuff. I'm trying my best not to let this get to me. Do I still have panic attacks? I still do, but they don't really make me panicky. If I'm laying down, I'm having a panic attack, I'm just gonna lay down and have it. If I'm driving and I have a panic attack, I'm just gonna drive. If I feel like getting really dizzy, like vertigo, then I'll stop, because I don't want to risk my own life, any passenger life, or anyone around me. But if I'm like a little off balance and I'm walking, I'm just gonna keep walking. But if I feel like everything's spinning and I feel like it's not safe for me to walk, I'm just gonna stop where I am, let it pass, and then I'm gonna continue for my walk. That's the only way I can retrain my brain not to be scared. Because the more you're scared of a symptom, of a sensation, it just feels like it's even worse than it is. But it's not as bad as sometimes I make it. Like sometimes I'll feel a little off balance and then I overreact, and it feels like it's a lot worse than it is. So right now I'm trying my best not to overreact to anything. Anyways, enough of me talking. I'm just going to go for my walk. I'm going to use my GoPro while I'm walking so I can listen to music. I used to listen to music whenever when I'm driving, when I'm going for walks and stuff like that. So I'm doing the things I used to do, so I can reprogram my mind to think about how I used to be before I had anxiety, and not think about my anxiety. So that's why you see me listening to music more than I am walking around talking.